And how is what do you call it? The sun created? Do people even? They always talk about when you look at it, they talk about the atoms and they coming together and everything else like that. But where does the sun come from? How does the sun express itself? I believe the sun is an expression of a dark hole or dark energy. You feel me? Just like us itself, right? Look at me. I said, look at me. Yeah, look at me. Look at me. All right, so you see me, right? My mind is in my head. It's encased in darkness, right? But yet, when I express myself, it's a form of enlightenment. Yet, as a matter of fact, we ain't even gonna go through that direction. I'll give it to you as plain signs. When I see all my five senses, which is see, taste, smell, hear, and what else? There's something else. Okay, I know see, taste, hear, smell. So 1, 2, 3. Please don't judge me. 4. There's one more, man. Fuck. Sight. Yeah, I already got that. Sight. Taste. Smell. It's one of them. I know there's one more. But anyway, out of all the five senses that we have, the only way those five senses work is through electrical impulses. You feel me? And yet, these things are encased in darkness. I can only see something. If I was to see a bird right now, which is a bird flying, the only reason why I can perceive it, I mean, that's what we call it as a bird, just to have a better understanding of it. But I can see it flying, but the science says that it's a quick second reaction. Now everybody want to drop their card and shit, man. Come on, man. Oh, it's the same nigga car. Stop trying to hide a card, man. Anyway, people. Side note: when people do wrong, they try everything to rewrite that wrong through. Like they're not even wrong. When a person tell a lie and they know they've done something wrong, right? And they do not want people to see them in that light. They will try everything in their power to rewrite that wrong, to make it seem as if it's true. So they keep trying and trying, while the truth is effortless. If you don't believe it, that's your fault. Hopefully in time, you can come to believe it. And that's the same thing between, you got to go to the origin of things. That's the same between God and the devil itself. The devil is constantly working. God is effortless. All the work has already been put in already. Look at these shit. Look at the trees. Look at the skies and everything else. You would think, if you take a look at each detail, it was a lot of work that goes into it, into coming into everything that you see. But yet they look so peaceful. It looked like nothing was ever wrong. It looked like it's always been there. But when you look at the science of it, you could tell there's a lot of friction and a lot of movement and a lot of moving parts that made this thing possible. That's God itself. God is effortless. He make things look effortlessly. Although it's working, he make it look effortlessly. The devil constantly changing up his story, lying, trying to cover up this with this, trying to do that with this, trying to attack this person so his stories can be true. And that's what it is sometimes. You just using the same traits that the devil used. Anyway, back to the story at hand about darkness itself. I hate when I get off topic because, distractions and everything else like that. But it goes hand in hand, darkness and everything else. People always think that darkness is something that is associated with something bad. But truth be told, everything comes from the darkness itself. Everything manifests itself in the darkness. And by the time you see it, it is in light. So we always think light is good and darkness is bad. But like I was saying earlier that when I saw the bird flying, the electrical impulse goes back. It goes back into my mind. It happens automatically. It goes back into my mind. Then electrical impulse bounce off my mind to the object that it sees. That I perceive it as a bird. And that's how you see, that's how you taste, that's how you hear. It's all through electrical impulse, all through that, all through electrical impulse. So from darkness itself, darkness has its own expression, and this expression is light. That's why the yin and the yang, you see one side is black and the other side is white, because it's like a Siamese twin, but they both it's an expression of each other. You cannot change. I know we love to separate things and everything else, but light and darkness are inseparable. They need each other for some form of communication. It's like an electron and a proton. You know, the circle, and you got the plus right here and a minus on the other side. They both need each other to communicate. They both has to be equally balanced to make an atom. So in the middle is nothingness. If you take a look into an atom, right? The scientists did the research over and over, and every time they look into an atom, there's nothing in there. I'm talking about pure nothingness. That's why they call it a neutral. I mean, that's what they call it, neutron. Well, neutron is neutral. And neutron is neutral, and neutral is nothingness. You feel me? That's all those words derived from each other. So the trillions of atoms that make us, when they look inside those atoms, there's nothingness in there. I'm not saying we nothing. We could be nothing. Be humble yourself. But the atoms that make us is nothingness. It's just pure nothing. It's just darkness, blackness. But when you see it for what it's worth, that the very thing that makes us in there is nothingness. It's just darkness. But when you put negative and positive together, that's how you get a lightning. You get a thunder. No, it's lightning. Thunder is the sound. Whatever. That you get the lightning, because the only way a lightning happens in the sky is when a negative and a positive interact with each other. Feel me? And that's where enlightenment comes in. Enlightenment, lightness. You feel me? So out of darkness, out of nothing came everything. I used to say out of nothing, out of darkness is nothing, and out of nothing came everything. Then how did I put it? Out of no, not from. That's why everybody they try to confuse us. We came from the bottom and from nothingness, out of nothing, because the world started out of nothing. Believe it or not, but I got to pay attention. I'm about to go to my spot real quick and talk to y'all about booth. Superman in the booth. And this is all science. You could do the research on your own. You don't have to believe me. An atom, in the middle of an atom, the inside of an atom is nothingness. It's the possibility of, damn man, why they got so many cars right here? There never used to be no, never used to be. Now these people be trying to position themselves, sending their little messages. You don't want to make these niggas mad, because they take it all the way to, they be exaggerating. I don't understand. Some people just wait to be mad. Like, they don't have no reason to be mad. They just want to be mad. Like, niggas don't even know you. Like, who are you? Like, who are you mad at? That's what people need to start asking themselves. It cannot be me, because we don't even know each other. And if you're mad about what somebody said about you and you don't know that person, then you have a lot of issues. You're supposed to be stronger than that. Anyway, yeah, these niggas is weak, man. Emotionally, they just emotionally unintelligent. New breed just put up emotional intelligence. I need to look into that. But a lot of people are emotionally not intelligent at all. They need help in that area. Look at this. Hold on. That bird is a motherfucker. I think that nigga got a device on. But yeah. Atom, right? When you take a look at an atom, right? You might as well do the research while I'm here. I know this video is a little too long, so after this I'm done. You're gonna look at like atom. Because this is what I do. When I have two devices, I'm doing the research at the same time while I'm speaking. An atom is the smallest unit of ordinary matter that forms a chemical element. Every solid, liquid, gas, plasma is composed of neutral atoms. Atoms are extremely small, typically around 100 picnometers across. Come on, my nigga. Could have did that somewhere else. There's so much information over here. An atom consists of a nucleus made of yeah, that's the word nucleus. It consists of a nucleus made of protons and neutrons, orbit by electrons. We now know that atoms are made up of three particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons, which are composed of even smaller particles, such as quarks. So we know that electrons are made up of three particles. We have the protons, which is its symbol is the plus sign. The electrons, its symbol is the negative sign. So you have a positive on the other side and a negative on the other side, and then a neutron. You have protons, which is positive, electrons, which is negative, and the neutron is basically like nothingness, basically. Feel me? You can see it as an equal if you want to put a symbol on it. Please leave me alone. Feel me? So the reason why we talking about atoms now and what does it has to do with darkness itself, according to uh it's a question that was posed on Google. It said are atoms energy? And it says all matters is made out of atoms. All matters. So basically anything that you can touch is made out of atoms. The chair that I'm sitting on right now, everything that you see, every possible thing is made out of atoms. And they also go back into how the atom has a nucleus. Nucleus is basically the core of it. You feel me? That's what a nucleus is. You feel me? What's this in the middle of it, like the centerpiece. You can say cornerstone, like whatever is holding it together. It is the nucleus, which contains particles of positive charge. Like basically when I said plus, that's even a proper way of saying it. Which contains particles of positive charge, which is protons, and particles of neutron charge. Oh, and particles of not neutron charge, which is whatever neutrons, and the shell around it. And these shells are actually different energy levels, and within the energy levels, the electron orbit around the nucleus of the atoms. I need to see a picture of how they describe that. That's crazy, right? And another question was posed. So just take a look at it as darkness itself. Can you destroy darkness? Can you destroy it? Because if it makes everything, can it be destroyed? According to this, an atom cannot be created nor destroyed, and they are indestructible and cannot be broken into smaller parts. This was based on the law of conservation of mass. All atoms of an element are identical and no are identical and no hold on. All atoms of elements are identical in both mass and properties. Atoms of different elements have different mass and properties. So basically, we are made out of atoms, and if you break us down to our finest core, we are made out of nothingness. Nothing. But yet we cannot be if I was to if you separate me apart, I am made out of an energy that cannot be destroyed. Feel me? This is what happened to our atoms when we die. That's a good question. That's crazy. This is where they talk about reincarnation. What happens to the atom? We are always in service. We are always in service. But yet, whatever. Be quiet. I'm looking into that. Anyway, look at it from this point of view, man. We are made out of atoms, right? That's what makes us. We came from darkness. I believe that we was always here. You feel me? And just like the metal chair and everything else like that, God took pieces of elements to form us together. You feel me? And just like these elements, it has been created, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is that. It was created as something that was already here already. Feel me? I just want to put that into perspective. So when we die, our atoms disassemble and move off to find new uses elsewhere, as part of a leaf or other human beings or a drop of dew. Atoms themselves, however, go on practically forever. So as you can see, our atoms has been here for a very, very long time. I'm talking about very, very long. It's not even very, very long enough. Feel me? That shit longer than Shaq arms. Shaq arms, you feel me? But the atoms has always been here. So when you read the Bible and God said the earth was without void, I'm coming back to it. I mean, I know it's all over the place. We're coming back to it. We're going to come back to it so you can know that this shit is, you always got to come back to it. In conclusion, when it said the earth was without void, right? It was without void. That tells you, when I break it down all the way down to its particles and I break it down all the way down to its atom, and we can't go no further than that. We know that the description of an atom is exactly what was being described in the beginning of time. And God said, let there be light. But when he said, let there be light, the atoms were already there. It was its own comforter. It was preserving something that it was already was. You feel me? So when God said, let there be light, all God did was take, like it's like a cake. This is the ingredients of it. Feel me? This is life itself. I want y'all to go to work. Yeah, I have work to do. And basically, that's what let there be light it's about. It's like, I want my creation to be working. We want the wheels of this shit to be rolling. You feel me? But darkness was always there. Everything that you see right now has always been here. Even when I die, my atoms is going to go on into something else. Whatever this next stage of thing is, it's always constantly there. It's always been there. And these are the things that you can tap into. You can tap into this energy and become wise. You don't have to be 200 and something years old to be wise, or you don't have to be an old head to be wise. You can actually tap into these atoms that you're already made out of already to become that person. You feel me? So just by reading those descriptions, it just tells you everything else that you need to know, that these atoms form together. You feel me? They form together to make somebody like me up. You feel me? I'm made out of trillions of atoms. But if you break down and look into it, you can see there's nothing but darkness within the atom. And darkness has its own intelligence, which is older than light itself. Because darkness was here before light itself. But yet, we are misunderstanding what light is about, in term using it for technology, which is separating us, and not understanding the true essence of what darkness is. And when I say darkness, don't take it because you lighter. Like, please stop it, because you are made out of the same things I'm made out of. I just happen to be dark brown and you happen to be a lighter brown. That's all. You feel me? But we're not gonna go into who's this and who's that. That's all childish. Like, get over yourself already, please. Like, these people are so into themselves, it's ridiculous. Get over yourself. All the way over yourself. Anybody that shows that much attention into himself is truly insecure. And you just using um you being better than somebody else as your darkness. You using it as a cover. That's all you're doing. You're just using it as a cover. You need to just be truthful with yourself. You feel me? Express the other side of darkness. Expose it. You feel me? And stop taking so much pride and taking so much offense to what people say about you. And like, come on, man, that's childish. That's little kid stuff. Like, you gotta be bigger than that. Anyway, I brought it back into the conclusion when I was talking about the night has its own radiation. The reason why you can, if you're in tune, you can hear the darkness and hear the radiation because it has always been here already. It has its own frequency. There's a sound to it. And it's so low because it's been here for so long that it can remain at that sound and still be relevant. It's like a parent sometimes who put their kids up front and the kid knows that's my backup, that's my power right there, that's my inspiration. You feel me? But the parents is in the background and the one who taught everything that the child know. You feel me? But he's still in the background just observing everything else and knowing he already knows. You feel me? And neutron does not have to be darkness, and darkness does not have to be black. You feel me? It's just how we perceive it. You feel me? It could be white. If it could be whatever color you choose for that darkness to be. It could be a very, very, very dark blue. It could be purple. It could be gray. It could be yellow. Like, you make it what you want just to make yourself feel better. Like, you feel me? Just take the information that's being said. But that's about it, man. I spoke for a good hour. I spoke for a good hour. I had to just put that out there. You feel me? That everything is formed in darkness, and darkness has always been here already. It was already here. So in the beginning, when they said "Let there be light," it was just a revealing of things that's already been there, and everything has already been created. The only thing you can do is change the patterns of it. You should read a book called Patterns. I think I left it in New York. It tells you most of the ideas that we have is already has been here already. The only thing you can do is just change it, change the patterns, change the patterns. We have 99. Our closest cousin is a monkey, and it's only a 2% or 4% difference that separate us from a monkey, and that percentage of a difference. If we just changed, if God was to change the pattern, it would change into something else. So all you can do is just change the pattern. The information is already out there. It's floating out there. All you gotta do is just pick one up. Just take one out the sky, and take one, and take. It's been here already. Your mind is the light that you cast onto this field of possibilities. You feel me? There's darkness, but it's not really darkness because I see light outside, right? But it's still darkness. You get it? Because even the light itself, the way I'm perceiving is through electrical impulse. So when I see the sun, it's an electrical impulse that hit it and tells me that this is a sun or this is a tree and this is a that. But in actuality, I am in darkness. But my perception of it is telling me this is light. Then at night it's dark. You feel me? So put whatever color you want to put on it, whatever makes you feel good, put it on it. But the information is endless. It's already out there. It's been here for a long time. It's hovering. It's harvesting. It's funny harvesting, like a plant and everything. It's been harvesting. It's like a cloud that keeps moving back and forth. It's like something that just. It's like a UFO that's hovering over a fucking house or orbiting over a house. Basically, these are the darkness of information or just information itself. The reason why I call it darkness because it cannot be seen. You feel me? Or it's hard for you to see it with your natural eyes. You have to see it with your mind itself. And that's what they call it, enlightenment. Your mind enlighten what is already there already. It's like let there be light type shit like that. So yeah, get your shit together, man. I know when I talk, they be like, but why does he talk like that? It doesn't matter. Pay attention. Don't pay attention to the clothes that I'm wearing. Don't pay attention to how I speak. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. You feel me? Yeah, hold on, let me see something. Let's screen this a little. Yeah, I don't want to show you the whole outfit. Feel me? In this day and age, coronavirus and everything else, all you gotta do is basically show the top of the outfit and you good. And let me move and go to work. I didn't really eat nothing last night because circumstances. It was just a lot going on. Then when I came in this morning, I didn't like the vibe at all of the places I was gonna buy food. The shelf was halfway empty. I'm like, no, I'm good, man. I'm not even going. Feel me? If I'm gonna buy something, it has to be a lot of things that I can buy from, so I can have the option to pick, not just what you picked and place on the shelf. It's like, oh, you running the business? So I know I've been there before, and I've been there on this day before. So what makes today so special that your shelf is empty? So I'm like, nah, I'm not buying nothing. I'd rather stab myself. So it is what it is. Like, wow. So I've been fasting for 2 days now. So that's not bad at all. Just water. So yeah, I'm good though. Saving money in the process. Yeah, get over yourself, man. Get over yourself. Anyway, I'm going right now.